starting the stream. What's going on, y'all? We back. Choo choo.
Zaza. Feeling real Irish today.
Yeah, happy Saint Paddy's.
I was trying to think of something Irish to say, but I can't think of anything at all.
I was gonna do a crappy
Gotta have me charms.
me lucky charms. I was gonna do
got our green mystery drink.
Hold on. I'm gonna add Twitter. Just give us a second. Gotta make sure that we got this all good. Hey, everybody doing, man? We gonna open up the YouTube stuff so y'all can see what we got going on. We can have the comments up. Hope everybody's doing well. I know we've been out for like, a week or something. Do it that way. All right. All right, so we got a little bit of something for y'all today. Hope everybody's having a beautiful St. Paddy's Day. We certainly are. Open up stream real quick. If you seen us on Twitter, what's going on Twitter? Don't get the chat ready. Stream. All right, anyway, we just gonna get to it. I'll do that later. All right, so we got this stream where we pulled it from Chad Jackson. If you haven't been following Chad Jackson, if you're not following Chad Jackson, you need to be following Chad Jackson now. Chad Jackson is one of the greats of our timeline, or of our time, of our generation.
Now, Chad is definitely not our generation. He's a millennial.
He's a millennial, right? Yeah, he's definitely older than us, but the content, it's peak. The content is peak. This is a great researcher. Great. And the panel that they all add their own like their own sauce to it. I can't really find the words for it, but they all add something that's needed into this show, and their panel is great. Yeah, and what we're gonna do is we have the panel right now. This panel, we have the montage.
Yeah, he has montage.
Pretty good with the montage.
All his shows. Very great montage. He be collecting these very specific clips.
Yeah, if you're
Sometimes
not,
it's a hard watch because these people be yapping.
Yeah, they just be yapping, bro.
I will say.
Like I said, if you haven't been followed Chad Jackson, follow Chad Jackson. Also follow Blanchard Robertson, Teach 'em Chuck, and Keisha King. We got some podcasts with Keisha King and Blanche. So
Chuck
those
and Chad coming soon.
Yeah, we will be uploading those soon. We just gotta get them. We just gotta get them right. All right, so here it is.
Look, man, I am tired of that. I am not passing. I am black. Do you hear me, man?
Wait, we
Do
didn't
you
even
understand?
say what the title was. The title of this montage is "Are Light-Skinned Black Activists a Little Too Zealous?" Interesting title. Do you think that light-skinned activists are zealous?
Yeah.
Let's look at the definition of zealous, because it's honestly not in my vocab. Zealous. Right. Overly enthusiastic. Oh, yeah. So from what I've observed as, being a black or whatever, the lighter you are, the harder you try to be perceived as black. Don't let you be mixed. Then you definitely gonna be. You're gonna be the triest of the tryhards.
Yeah, you're gonna be. You essentially gotta be a sweat for the black community because.
Or else they're not gonna accept you. And they're gonna say you're
they're just simply not gonna accept you. It's kind of weird because growing up, I'm not dark skinned. I'm just brown or whatever. But I definitely remember when I was growing up, there were kids that were like super dark, and they used to the number one thing people would say to them is that you too black, or you with your black ass, you black as hell, you know, you charcoal. Niggas used to be making fun of kids because they was too black. But I thought y'all love y'all black skin.
Black.
We all did, bro, because it's just something to say.
Kids.
It's just something to say.
Click my tongue at them.
But the light skinned people used to be the most popular. We had some kids in my high school. They were light skinned with like blue and green eyes, and they were like that. Everybody liked them. They mom and dad were teachers and security guards at the school, so they had pretty high rank, and they were pretty much untouchable in the high school. They were like the most popular kids in the school, and they were light skinned. They were light skinned with blue and green eyes, and they didn't really have to try that hard. Everybody just liked them because they were light skinned. So if people would have been on that pro black stuff, it would have shifted to where they would have had to try harder to be a part of the community or whatever. But people just liked them because they was light skinned.
I am black. I'm a nigga. You understand me? I was born black. I live black, and I'm gonna die probably because I'm black. Because some cracker that knows I'm black better than you, nigga, is probably gonna put a bullet in the back of my head.
Okay.
Bro, he look Asian.
This nigga don't even look black. He don't look black, bro. The nigga don't look black. He don't look black. He don't look black. This nigga looks white. If anything, he look Asian. Like you said, he looks Asian. But the programming is just so deeply embedded in his brain that he don't know left from right, up from down. He just know that he told that he was black because his dad was probably black or something or whatever. But he just yapping, bro. Just yapping, and that's pretty much all that matters to him.
America, you really messed up. You made us stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance every day and recite with liberty and justice for all. And then we saw Oscar Grant, Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. We grew up with faces like America is the land of the free, like it wasn't built on slavery, like prisons aren't slavery, like you didn't colonize the whole world to spread slavery. Y'all really messed up. You fed us an image of Dr. King that said he just wanted to hold hands with white people. But you assassinated him for speaking out against the war and advocating for the poor. You told us Rosa Parks just sat on the bus, but she had a whole career helping black women who were sexually assaulted by white men. You never told us the FBI was...
Hold on a second. Pause this. Because Rosa Parks was a lie. Y'all know they planned that out, right? You know Rosa Parks had a car?
Yeah.
He only did the whole little bus thing to get y'all riled up for the sake of a movement.
For the sake of a movement.
And it worked, because he's still talking about her to this day. She died 20 years ago. Truly amazing.
Prisons aren't slavery.
You know, it's really fascinating because these people, they try so hard to be woke, and in reality, it's just they just adopted this ideology that's actually hostile towards them. It's hostile towards anybody that's not dark skinned, anybody that doesn't have black features, anybody that's not quote unquote conventionally black. So you're trying to make yourself look black in front of everybody else, including black people, when quote unquote black people don't even look at you as black. They don't even look at you as black. You too light. You're too light.
Too high yellow. Yeah,
you too high yellow. Ain't nobody looking at you like, yeah, that's a black man right there, unless it's convenient for them. But see, that's the thing. That's the point of this live stream, is because you're light skinned, so you're gonna damn near martyr yourself. You're gonna be a martyr. You're gonna sacrifice yourself just to prove that you was black. And that's what this is about.
Dr. King that said he just wanted to hold hands with white people. But you assassinated him for speaking out against the war and advocating for the poor. You told us Rosa Parks just sat on the bus, but she had a whole career helping black women who were sexually assaulted by white men. You never told us the FBI was watching both of them at the same time. Keep lying if you want, because the contradictions raise the people's consciousness. We now live in the information age. Internet at the tip of our fingers.
Hispanic.
And we can see right through you.
As was said in the introduction, my father was a black African, and my mother was a white American.
A Muslim?
And much of my life was spent trying to reconcile the terms of my birth.
He forgot to mention. Wait a minute. He forgot to mention his tranny nanny he had when he was a child in Indonesia. He left that part out.
Yeah, he conveniently
He
left
always
that
leaves
part
that part out because most people don't know about it. I wonder why.
Nah, that's crazy. My boy just lying. My boy just I guess you can't really call it lying, but you know, he's being dishonest.
That divided heritage.
It's a lie.
Blexit says, as an American Negro, oh, it's gone. we'll pull up in a second.
The realities of race and nationality, tribal identities that exist not just in this country but also overseas.
Our focus will be one dear to my heart, Black people, and specifically American Black people, and even more specifically, African American people, those associated with and identified as the descendants of the American slaves.
This all raises the question, though.
Wait a minute.
Who are the African American people?
Wait a minute. Go back. So she said more specifically
Is
Black Americans. Then she said African American people. I'm trying to figure out why we keep trying to narrow this shit down. What's the difference?
Yeah, this one.
I want one of these wokies to explain the difference.
This
I
one
must have forgot.
This one is crazy because they got the kids doing this.
Our focus will be one dear to my heart, Black people, and specifically American Black people, and even more specifically, African American people.
Wait a minute.
Those associated with and
she said American
identified.
Black people, and she said African American Black. So how we get there though? What's the difference between an American Black person and an African American? Can somebody explain the difference? Like I'm so confused.
I guess they're trying to say that any other one are
like what
tethers?
other one though?
Tethers?
Like the Jamaicans that come up here and stuff.
I don't know.
Africans
man.
that come from Africa over here.
I'm not understanding.
What about Elon Musk?
Right.
This
what
shit
about
Elon? It's
Elon
broken
Musk?
down so easily because it doesn't make any damn sense. I just want to know.
As the descendants of the American slaves.
This all raises the question, though. Who are the African American people? What is their identity? If an officer pulled us over and said, "Identify yourselves, African Americans," who exactly are you? What is your background?
Okay. So when I saw this the first time, I immediately saw that whenever they portray the racist white people in any type of media, and because that's where these kids are getting this from, it's always the media. They never experience this in their real life. It's always the Southern accent. So ask yourself, why is the racist white always portrayed as a Southern white? Why is that? Why is it that whenever they think about racism, they think about, oh, it's the Southern accent, the country accent?
Because South equals racist.
Yeah.
That's why everybody was telling us not to move down here to Texas because we were going to get lynched and stuff.
And why do you think that the South is racist? Well, because the TV told you that.
Slavery.
Because the TV told you that. Because whenever you watch a movie like Roots or any of these black films that's produced by Spike Lee or whatever, it always portrayed the racist white people as Southern. And why do they want you to think that the South is racist? Well, because the South were Republican states. The South are red states. There were a lot of Democrats in the South, but they switched to Republican. So they want you to just, when they taught me this stuff in school, they taught me that it was the North versus the South. They never said Republicans versus Democrats. They leave that open so you can fill it in later with the new information that they give you as far as the political parties. So when you think back about the South, you think about racist Republicans because today the South is red. So it had to be the racist Republicans, right? So that's why whenever you hear this stuff about these racist whites, it's always a Southern accent. It's always a Southern accent. Identify yourself. Nigga, you probably live in a northern city. You probably in New York talking like this. You don't even hear nobody with no Southern accent. When you getting pulled over by somebody like a police officer or something, when you get pulled over by the police, he sound like you. He talking like you. Why are you thinking that there's some random Southern person that's just so happened to be a police officer in your county? Don't even make no sense, bro.
TV. Too much TV. That's
Too much TV.
What would be our answer to these questions, you know?
We are the descendants of those who were forcibly removed from Africa and brought to this land in chains as
sold by other Africans in Africa. It was no forcibly removed. Maybe y'all forced by the Africans who had y'all ranking up in the first place, but that's a whole separate conversation. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Those are the facts. Stank. But don't tell her those facts.
They
She
ain't
don't want
gonna
to hear
say that though. They're not gonna put that part in because that's not what you.
You started the stream over?
Yeah, I did.
Why?
Because I didn't have to chat at first. Now I got to chat.
Property without rights.
We are the nation within the nation.
Okay, so let's look. I'm sorry. Look at this. Look at the optics of this. These people talking about we are black. We are black. Where do you see a black person? Where is the black? Where's the dark skin?
She has an afro.
Where's the
puff?
Bro, these people are all mixed. They're all mixed. These people are probably going to some TF North TH.
I just seen a comment.
Bruh, hold on.
Somebody just commented.
I'm gonna open up the YouTube comments. Hold on.
Here's
what's up, Reels or Jimmy Twin? I don't know if you want to.
Are you Reels or Jimmy now?
Is it Reels or Jimmy, man? Happy St. Patty's Day, Freeman. C. Freeman.
Wait, what does it say?
As an American Negro, I have Irish in my lineage via my Negro mother and my Jamaican father. As a matter of fact, my maternal great-grandmother is an African Irish from Mississippi. That is interesting.
Okay, so I know you drink it. No,
Hey, man. I am 6% Irish. 6% Irish. I did my my lineage test, and I am 6% Irish. So, happy St. Patty's Day.
We are the country's country into which all former slaves and some indigenous people and immigrants have not just come to, but have been formed into and labeled and identified as a core group of people from the United States of America, possessing any connected ancestry specifically from the African slave in America.
These are black people or African Americans.
The issue of colorism is explored in depth in the new Netflix series, Dear White People.
What if I wanted to join them?
I watched this series non-ironically when I was still a commie, and I was like, I remember the whole premise of the show was this mixed girl started a podcast at her university called Dear White People, where she was like, just airing out her racist ass grievances, but she had like an internal conflict because she was dating a white guy, and so it was like, well, what should I do? And half her family's telling her to stop being a racist, and the other half is like, fight for your rights, queen. I don't remember what happened at the end of the show or the movie. They had a movie and a show, but it was stupid.
It sounds stupid.
Dear white people. So racist.
These niggas always worrying about white people.
I'm not down. Dear half-white person, you're just not black enough for the union.
We spoke to the show's creator.
See?
Black student union. There's a whole like dialogue about the black student union. So yeah, that whole show is actually interesting because I'm actually surprised that he put this in here. I wouldn't think Chad would be familiar with this.
You're just not black enough.
But that's how that's why the light skinned people be so trying so hard. Are you serious?
Dear half white, half black. What's she say? Dear half black person. Anyway, play the Chicago. Hey, this is Chicago Server. Yeah, of course it's dumb, bro. It's ridiculous. This is the stupidest thing ever. I'll be right back.
Creator Justin Simeon about these complex issues.
As a biracial woman, she sort of feels as if she's kind of caught between two worlds and feels as if she kind of has to double down on aspects of her blackness to sort of feel as if she belongs around, black people, frankly.
My love for my people serves as the fuel that motivates me and fortifies me on my...
We got our good brother, Colin Kaepernick's mixed ass. This is the guy that decided he wanted to kneel and do the powers of the people at the damn NFL when he was in the NFL. I don't know if he's still in the NFL. I don't watch football, but I know that he was doing some really lame shit. But this is another example of one of these light-skinned folks, one of these Africans, these little mulattoes that got to do too much to appeal to the Negroes because they want to be black so bad, but they got to prove themselves, and you got to prove yourself by doing all this activist shit. It's very cringe.
My mission is the people's unbroken love for themselves that motivates me even when faced with dehumanizing norms of a system
that can lead to the loss of one's life over simply being black. There is never.
Every time I hear somebody say the word system, it makes me want to slip my wrist. I'm not even joking. I don't want to hear y'all talking about these systems. It's so cringe. We had to fight back against the system.
The same system that's paying Colin Kaepernick millions of dollars.
Oh no, but he's black.
To throw a ball around.
He's black, so he's oppressed. You know, if you're black and you're playing sports, you're apparently a slave. They literally have said that.
Yeah, that don't even make no sense. You getting paid more than 99% of the people in this country, and this nigga crying racism.
I hope their ancestors haunt them for saying that shit. Don't you compare you're literally getting paid to be an athlete to slavery?
That's ridiculous.
Just don't.
They rolling in their grave right now.
Ever been a period in the history of America where anti-blackness has not been an ever-present.
And for the people that's just tuning in, the subject, the topic of this is, are light-skinned blacks activists a little too zealous? Is this montage proving a point? Is this answering the question? Just leave in the comments, bro.
Present terror. Racialized oppression and dehumanization are woven into the very fabric of our nation, the effects of which can be seen in the lawful lynchings of black and brown people by the police and the mass incarceration of black and brown lives in the prison industrial complex. While America bills itself as the land of the free, the receipts show that the U.S. has incarcerated approximately 2.2 million people, the largest prison population in the history of humankind.
Great.
It's just ridiculous. Like,
why is this bitch talking? Oh my god. Why is she talking? She's not even black. But the thing is, they let Cardi B say nigga this, nigga that, say whatever she wants. She ain't black. This bitch is Dominican or some shit. Oh, but she has nappy hair, so she's black.
I'm trying to understand.
Logic is screwed.
I'm trying to understand why Colin Kaepernick gets to call itself black or brown. And that's why they expanded the definition of, or that's why they expanded the movement to black and brown, because
they had to make it more
they made it more broad,
inclusive,
so anybody can get into it. Anybody can say, yeah, I hate white people too. Yeah, fuck them. Like, I'm sorry, excuse my language, but that's essentially what it is. They like, anybody can join against white people. Anybody can join against white people. They don't care about your actual movement, bruh. They don't care about you, boy.
It's like I feel like all these football team owners, they want to release statements now, and they want to do the most. And it's like, but Colin Kaepernick, he still don't got a job. So what's really good? Like, y'all want to be releasing statement like we support our this and that people? No, not really.
Why?
Because if y'all did,
why does this illiterate whore keep speaking on politics? Period.
Because she gets paid.
Go talk about your wet ass pussy, and that's it. You really need to stop doing that, but that's what you're good at. Go do that. Do not speak on politics at all. You're illiterate. You're retarded. Why is she speaking on politics? And the fact is, there's bitches who will listen to this lady about politics. But they won't listen to me or him. They listen to her.
You don't understand how weird that is, bro. You listen to somebody that rap about their wet ass pussy on to millions of people, and you're getting political advice from this lady. This lady, she is illiterate. She is literally illiterate.
I'm willing to bet she actually can't read.
But you listen to her talk about some political movement or some social justice, right? Neither one of them niggas black, but they supposed to be fighting for your cause. Why y'all so like thirsty to put somebody at the face of y'all movement? I guess because y'all think that light-skinned people get a pass, that they're white passing, so they can go in and infiltrate the white community for y'all. What the hell type of fairy tale are you living in, bro?
Colin will have a job right now. Like, what's good? What's really, really good? And then on top of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to tell the audience, I want to tell the people, like, don't be so hard on these players. Like, these players, like, you know, they're kneeling, they holding hands, they're doing things.
All this commie shit. They're doing all this commie shit that they're not being paid for. They're supposed to be throwing the ball around.
You get paid.
Shutting up.
You getting paid to play ball. Don't nobody care what else you got to talk about, bro.
She's not even black. What was I
saying? Black people are just that stupid. Yes, they are.
Oh, yeah.
They are. She say nigga, and then she marry a black man, and all of a sudden she black. This lady is Hispanic. She is Hispanic. She is not black. She is not black. But you niggas done expanded the definition of black so much. You don't even know what black is. That's why I'm not black. You niggas change what black is every other month. I'm not black. I refuse to be black. I refuse to be in this moving goalpost called black. I'm good, bro.
I want no parts.
I'm good, bro. I am good. Cardi B is Indo-European, stock Caucasian, Hispanic. What the hell is that?
That's a mutt.
What is that?
She's a mutt.
Bro, she's a mutt.
He's a mutt.
Nah, bro. That's what I said. I'm good on all of that. I'm not black. This lady's illiterate and she's speaking for black people and y'all cheering her on.
And it seems like sometimes it's not enough. Like, oh, if they really real about it, they will not play. They will not play. These people need their job too.
These people can work at McDonald's.
Right.
If you need a job, you can get a job. You can work at McDonald's. You can work at Family Dollar. You know how to, you can lift, you qualified to be working and lifting all types of weights because you was a professional football player, so you can lift 200 pounds easy. You will kill it at a warehouse. Go work for UPS. You will make a killing. The UPS be paying good. Nigga, I'm not trying to hear it, bro. I'm not. You don't have the right to complain about the same institution that's paying you $12 million a year. I'm not trying to hear it, bro.
At all.
You don't have the right. They paid you to play ball, so play ball. Somebody told LeBron, shut up and dribble. I agree, shut up and dribble. Niggas not trying to hear you yap, LeBron. LeBron has been on camera lying like 30 times.
And plus,
no one cares.
Plus, if you're watching a sport, you're watching football or something, you're trying to watch that shit to watch sports. You're not trying to be
right, bro.
Preached to about politics. Don't nobody want to hear that shit.
Bro, that's why people was mad at the Super Bowl. Nobody trying to hear Kendrick cry about oppression and racism and all. So, nigga, you're performing at the Super Bowl. You can't get no bigger than that. The only other thing you can do is perform at the White House. And the only reason you wouldn't perform at the White House was Trump in office. I'm sure Trump would have invited you if you wanted to come. Like, you people are just complaining for the sake of complaining. I'm not understanding it, bro.
Are you gonna pay them?
She retarded.
The section that I'm going to read for you right now takes place during my adolescence. And I'm a very angry man, young man at the time that this passage takes place. Partly because my father is absent, partly because I'm trying to struggle. What does it mean exactly to be a black man in America?
Don't forget the partly because you were raised by a tranny in Indonesia. We were confused about that too.
Yeah, confused about your sexuality.
Because he didn't have his dad. Imagine how he felt about being a man growing up with a tranny as his nanny.
Oh yeah.
Bars.
Super liberal.
Partly because I'm sufficiently isolated in Hawaii without a large African American community, without father figures around that might guide me and steer my anger. And the passage finally ends with me having a conversation with a close friend of my maternal grandfather, a fairly well-known poet named Frank Marshall Davis, who sort of schools me on that I should get used to these frustrations. So let me dig in.
We are African Americans. Whatever the expression of our melanin, we are black. I am black. I am you.
The message in Kendrick's halftime show is what we're watching right now.
LOL.
This is the message. It's
black.
that no matter what, we are black. We are this. We are that. White America can never accept us. We don't want them to accept us because we're going to be this block inside of this country that's going to dismantle America from the inside out. That's his message, is that he's a communist.
Amazing.
A rich communist at that. So he's a communist for y'all. He's not gonna partake in that communism, but he's gonna push it to y'all because you think he's finna give up his millions of dollars? You think he's gonna give up his Grammy for you niggas? No, that's his message.
Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, Malcolm X are all considered foundational black Americans. They all, as well as many others, are considered, quote, mixed.
Mixed? Mixed with what?
We are black.
We are descendants of the people who should be considered.
Right. So even if you're mixed, they want to graft you in with the black people so you can be against white people. That's what it is. These people are light as hell. They look back when I was in high school, niggas would call this white passing. This is white passing. You look white. Your skin. What about the brown paper bag test? Remember niggas was talking about that. The brown paper. Oh, you wouldn't pass the brown paper bag test.
Read the message on the star. Can't see you.
Blexes say foundational what? Foundational goofy. That's what it is. These people will
Foundation
not
Black
pass.
Americans.
These kids will not pass the brown paper bag test, except for this one kid right here. He's the only one up here besides the other one that's all the way over there. None of these folks are passing the brown paper bag test. Remember they taught you all about that in school? The brown paper bag test is how you know if you black or not, or what the one drop rule. Y'all, come on now, bro. But the propaganda just keeps revamping because you got taught this in school. It don't matter.
Or who should be acknowledged as those whose unpaid labor is a primary means building America's wealth. We are the unidentified America that has been locked away inside of America. The people whose contributions have been mined as
we are the group inside of America that's not a part of America. So therefore we will be communists. It's just, I mean, come on now. This stuff is like, it's so transparent.
most precious diamonds, and whose cultural capital and inventions have been stolen and then capitalized on by a wicked power structure and spread throughout a world, who then looks back and asks,
why can't these people get together?
We are a nation buried above ground, assigned many.
And I want to note that the reason why so many light-skinned kids in this presentation is because they're in the suburbs. I don't even have to know where they at to know that they're in the suburbs. It's so many light-skinned people, you know they're not in the inner city. The inner city ran by blacks. Any inner city is ran by blacks. You're not seeing no light-skinned people, mostly light-skinned people in no presentation in the city. It's in the suburbs. I can guarantee it. I will bet all the money I make this year on that. They are in the suburbs. Nation within a nation. Communist alert. Exactly. FBA, communists. They're all communists, bro.
Many names while being nameless and hidden from sight while always being visible.
Is that what it means to be black? Doing all that screaming and shit? I mean, you would think that it does be black, because that's what the blacks are good for.
Group economics alert. You say group economics communist alert. Yes. Yes.
All of it. You should gotta be
it's
on
all
the clock.
commie. It's all commie. You just gotta know what they saying. It's all commie, bro. It is all commie. Just go back to Africa. Yes. Go back to
Where
Africa.
are you seeing these comments at?
They're popping up on the screen.
They're so tiny.
They're not on the chat, but they're popping up on the screen. Yeah, just go back to Africa. I'm still waiting for y'all to make Wakanda, bro. If y'all made Wakanda, I might. Hey, if y'all made Wakanda, I'd be like, look, bro. You feel me? Right. Not none of this. It's gonna be this, right? We gotta. If y'all made Wakanda, I go with where the winner's at.
I awoke to the sound of an argument in the kitchen. My grandmother's voice barely audible, followed by my grandfather's deep growl. I opened my door to see Toot. That's my.
Also, sorry, for the people that just tuned in. If you're not following Chad O. Jackson,
you better be.
You need to be following Chad O. Jackson, 100%.
My grandmother entering their bedroom to get dressed for work. I asked her what was wrong.
Sharon?
Nothing. Your grandfather just doesn't want to drive me to work this morning, that's all. Gramps was muttering under his breath. I told him that I'd be willing to give Toot a ride to work if he was feeling tired. That's not the point. She just wants to make me feel bad. I'm sure that's not it, Gramps. Of course it is. She's been catching the bus ever since she started at the bank. And now, just because she gets pestered a little, she wants to change everything. I took Toot into the other room and asked her what had happened. A man asked me for money yesterday while I was waiting for the bus. He was very aggressive, Barry. Very aggressive. I gave him $1 and he kept asking. I returned to the kitchen. Listen, I said, Gramps, why don't you just let me give her a ride after all? She seems pretty upset. It's really no big deal. It is a big deal. It's a big deal to me. She's been bothered by men before. You know why she's so scared this time? Before you came in, she told me the fellow was black. That's the real reason why she's bothered, and I just don't think that's right. His words were like a fist in my stomach. Before my eyes, he grew small and old and very sad. I put my hand on his shoulder and told him that it was all right. I understood. I knew that men who might easily have been my brothers.
Wow, what a pussy. What pussy? This granddaddy is a pussy. So you gonna put your wife in danger because you're trying to make some fucking point. How dare you be upset about a nigger asking you for money? You should give him all your money. Give him your money. And you gonna force your wife. First of all, you can force your wife to be on the bus. That's the one thing. You won't take her to work.
You forget the part where she said the nigga was aggressive.
He's aggressively demanding money out of your wife. You're okay with that because he's black? So what? You want to give all your money to Negroes? We'll give it away.
Right. We're just
Venmo me right now.
right.
Hey,
Cash
at
at me right
Barack's
now.
granddaddy, if you're still alive, Venmo us. Cash at me right now.
Give it here.
Because evidently you want to give money to blacks.
Look, I'm black with locks and tattoos.
Yeah.
Tattoo. Come on. I need
could
that.
still inspire their rawest fears. That night, I drove into Waikiki, past the bright lit hotels and down towards the Alawai Canal. Inside, the light was on and I could see Frank sitting in his overstuffed chair, a book of poetry in his lap, his reading glasses slipping down his nose. Want a drink? He asked me. I nodded. So how's your grandpa? He's all right. So what are you doing here? I told Frank some of what had happened. Funny cat, your grandfather. You can't blame your grandfather for what he is. He's basically a good man, but he doesn't know me. He can't know me, not the way I know him. What I'm trying to tell you is, your grandma's right to be scared. She understands that black people have a reason to hate. That's just how it is.
No, there's never a reason to hate. What are we? Are y'all 2 years old?
Yes.
You don't have any reason to hate anybody.
Bruh, you talking
Because
about...
God should hate you. But he doesn't. So given that intel, there's no reason for y'all to be hating anybody.
You don't have a right to hate.
There's no reason to hate.
You do not.
You can
have
come up
a
with some
right
bullshit,
to hate.
but it's not valid.
You never have a right to hate. That is
Black people have
Satan.
a reason to hate.
That is what Satan says.
This goes for all the Jew haters too. Oh, we have a reason to hate them because of what? No.
No.
You could be aware. You could talk about it, but it's no reason to hate. That's crossing a line that I'm not for. Period.
Yeah, you should not hate. God is love. So if you hate, you are not of God.
Period.
Simple as that.
So you might as well get used to it. I knew for the first time that I was utterly alone.
Our love is not an individual.
So what he was saying is he related to, who was he? I don't know who the other person he was talking to outside who said that he understood why black people had hate, but he was basically what Obama got from this entire situation was that black people have a right to be hateful.
Yeah.
That's what he learned.
And
nobody cares about the grandma getting assaulted. So what ended up happening with Granny? Did she end up just having to suck it up and get assaulted some more?
Yeah, she had to suck it up and deal with the angry black man on the bus. Blexit says, why he sound like that? He was raised by Jewish people, not Southern people.
Ooh. He had to put on that black scent.
This is the biggest phony ever.
Black scent. Ooh. Big fat phony.
Cooked in. Man, Barack, we seeing Barack for who he really is now. You know, I wish we would have been based when he was running the first time.
But we were literally kids. We were literally
children,
like
bro.
8.
If we would have, I want to see what the conservatives were saying about Obama.
Yeah, we might have to do like a history dive on the whole Obama era because we were just too
man.
young to even pay attention to
And
that.
a lot of people got fooled by him. A lot of people got fooled.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Y'all genuinely voted that man in.
Twice.
Sheesh.
Individualized love. It is a collective love.
No.
A collective love that's constantly combating.
Hey, if your commie glasses are on and you can see through it, the word collective should be an automatic red flag.
Red flag.
Automatic.
Collective
Time out.
Commie alert.
You said collective. Oh, nope. Bye. I don't do that collective talk.
Forms of racialized hate. Chattel slavery, Jim Crow, new Jim Crow, massive plantations, mass incarceration, slave patrols, police patrols.
I'm dead.
All of which this man has never had to deal with.
He really. Wait, what the comments?
Blessed to say, I voted for him in 2008, then became full-blown Republican by 2011 because of Obama.
I'm crying.
Yeah, I'm glad he woke folks
So
up.
Obama radicalized.
He was
folks.
that bad that he woke you up. Sharon said, you don't want to know. You need to know.
About Obama?
We need to know.
What is that? Like I said, we was kids.
We need to know.
Little
because
kids.
He was like the single greatest like Trump card that the Democrats and the globalists had. It was
All I remember was
man.
a bunch of Negroes being happy. And
Man, these niggas cried when he got elected, and then he proceeded to do nothing for black people. And then y'all voted for him twice. Barack Obama is not even his real name. It's Barry Santoro. This nigga's name is Barry.
Barry?
Barry?
That doesn't sound like a Negro.
What the hell is the new Jim Crow? Some cap. It's cap. That's what it is. The idiot knew. He knelt for the flag, didn't he? Yeah, he did. Of course he did. Yes, bro. Birth certificate fake as hell. I was watching a video of them people. These people were they were like, it was like a real, like, I don't even know what they were called, bro. But these people were like working for the government. They were in the government. Some branch, if not the government, they were like a really high status organization, and they had a press conference where they were breaking down Obama's birth certificate, and they were literally showing how the signature was forged, and they compared it to like another signature that was, oh my, it was so crazy. I was like, gee, this dude really forged his signature. And remember Trump said that they said show his birth certificate. Where's his birth certificate? Remember, Trump called it. So, it blew my mind, bro. I was like, bro, this who did we elect? We elected this Muslim communist in our country he probably wasn't even born here. He probably was born in Kenya. It's looking like he was born in Kenya. Oh my goodness, bro. Man, look, again, we were kids. Y'all fumbled, bro. Whoever voted for him, I'm sorry, y'all fumbled.
For Obama?
Oh, y'all fumbled.
You
fumbled. I mean, I understand. Because he just was almost too good to be true, right? And you want to show that you're not racist. You know, America's moving past or Jim Crow or whatever. But you got to remember, Jim Crow was in the 60s.
But he was up there like saying like conservative side stuff. Like he was up there like, oh,
yeah,
this is not a black America or white America. This is our America. Blah, blah, blah.
It sounded good. It sounded good.
Way too good.
It sounded good. And then he got up there and just lied to y'all. Obama made biracial people have the identity issues they didn't have. Exactly. I remember growing up that there was no talk about race. You could literally edit his certificate. I remember when I was growing up, we were not talking about race like that. When I was a kid, there was no racism. Nobody was really worried about that. But then I strictly remember when Obama became president and the Trayvon Martin stuff happened. That is literally when everybody was talking about race. I can't think of a time before that when we were worried about race. But when there was actual violence and stuff going on, it was the black people in my community. I saw somebody get shot right outside my window. Me and my little brother, we saw somebody get shot right below our window. That had nothing to do with racism. He got shot by another nigga.
Sad.
But we worried about racism. It's crazy.
We as a collective, since the colonization of the Americas, have been combating collective forms of systemic racialized hate and oppression. Is our love.
And the reason why these light-skinned people are so radicalized is because these interracial marriages be liberal as hell.
Yep.
It'd be a liberal ass white woman and a low IQ black. So when they birth
beta male.
A beta. When they birth these light skinned folks, and not all of them, of course, not all. I'm not racist towards light skinned people. I'm just saying, but a lot of them, if not most, it'd be a liberal relationship because the liberals are the ones conforming to this race mixing.
Yeah, and that's why so many people against race mixing, because the bottom line is most of the people who are race mixing on some commie ass principles.
Yeah.
Are not godly at all.
Yeah. They're just simply race mixing because the TV told them to. Yeah. You know, they
facts.
You know, that's just what it is. So there's no like, it's no surprise that these people, these biracial people are like the most commie of the con because they having this identity crisis. So they have to prove that they either really black or really white. It's not cool to be white though. So they're going to go and be super black. So they have to be the spokesperson. They have to be the front man of this black movement. They have to be. My cousin is married to a black man and he is conservative as hell. That's nice.
Yeah,
we love it.
That is beautiful.
That's nice.
Such a rarity that
it is rare. But see, that's the thing. Like, and this is why like with our stance on the right. Our stance on the right is like, I'm not against race mixing. It's not race mixing. Race itself mixing is not the problem. It's culture mixing. When you try to mix your culture with someone else's culture, some cultures they're just complete opposites.
Yep.
It's just what it is. Like, we live in America where it's majority is European Christian culture. That works. That's why America is as great as it's been for as long as it's been. You can't start importing the third world and think that everything's gonna be sweet. You just can't do that. That's just what it is. People be saying that when people say that blacks, like when the people on the far right, like the America First people, the Groypers, when they say that blacks have low IQ, I don't get offended because I know that they simply don't understand that it's not a race thing, it's a culture thing. Because if your culture doesn't prioritize education, family, and prolonged gratification and stuff like that, these tools to success, like the Asian communities and the white community and the Indian communities, if your culture doesn't prioritize that, you're gonna fail, and ultimately you will end up with a lower IQ because you're not prioritizing education anyway. So why wouldn't you have a lower IQ? It's not race, it's culture, and race and culture are so close. They are so closely mixed and together that you can easily call it race, but you have to be able to discern. It's not race. It's not the race of people, because if blacks have a lower IQ, why do Nigerians come over here and thrive and kill everybody? They beat everybody. Nigerians come from Nigeria in Africa, the country the continent y'all hate so much and say they're breeding nothing but low IQ people. Why do Nigerians come over here and thrive? The Nigerians come over and make more than you, me, and all of us put together. Because it's not a race thing, it's a culture thing. The Nigerians have the culture, they just don't have the resources over there, so they come over here and they thrive.
Yep.
Every human being is a culturalist. Sounds about right. I don't know what a culturalist is. I mean, but if you want to preserve your culture, I understand that. It's like tribalism. I understand it, but it's not race. It's not race. It's culture. No race is equal, but no culture is equal. Some cultures are just inherently better. Simple as that. Simple as that. That's just what it is.
Plantations, mass incarceration, slave patrols, police patrols.
He's still going.
My boy's still yapping.
He just took a
Look at
right out of breath.
We as a collective, since the
hold on, run it back.
He's saying collective.
We as a collective, since the colonization of the Americas, have been combating collective forms of systemic racialized hate and oppression.
That face
is our love for Stefan.
Bro, look at the nose.
He actually look kind of Jewish.
That.
Hold on.
Is he Jewish? Is he Jewish?
Wait, hold
on. Is Colin Kaepernick?
I just want to know, because that nose is very strong.
If Colin Kaepernick is Jewish, we're cutting the stream off. I'm cutting the stream off.
All
Colin
Kaepernick. Wikipedia, look up
his family, his mom and dad.
Early life.
It's gonna be like he was born Jewish.
His birth father, Black American, Ghanaian, whatever, Nigerian, and whose identity is unknown. Wait, what? His mom's from Wisconsin, 19-year-old white American. So she's from Wisconsin.
White American. White. Sure. Okay.
Clark.
Her baby daddy is unknown. They don't even know who his dad is. So she was just some whore.
Talking about Jewish phenotype.
Yeah, no, for real. That nose is giving strong.
Right. The Nigerians do better than the Asians, and that's saying something. They do. So it's not race. It's not a race thing. The Indians from India is thriving too. It's not race. It's culture. Now, the God you serve, I believe in the Christian God of the Bible. I believe in the Father of Jesus.
Yeah, but you know what I've learned about, I know a lot of Nigerians. My mom was friends with a lot of Nigerians. They be Christian.
Yeah. They do.
Like, if they come, especially if they come to America, they be coming over here being Christians. That's like an overall black thing, right? You'll become a Christian, but then the black churches also got infiltrated. But just like being black in itself is kind of associated with being a Christian. This is a great thing, but the sad thing and the most demonic thing about it is the communists are aware of this. Back to Martin Luther King, even MLK was infiltrating the black churches,
right?
Because he knew that's where they would be at.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you infiltrate them. Because the grandmas, my grandma, your grandma, they go to church. They go to church every week. It's just the thing that's older black people do.
Yeah.
So knowing that, a lot of the communists, they're not stupid. They like, oh, we need to tap into the churches. That's where the blacks are at. They listen to the pastor. If the pastor says, hey, we need to make our symbol of our church a crucifix clutching a communist fist clutching a crucifix, blacks will be down for it.
Yeah.
It's disturbing. It's very disturbing. So you just
I
gotta.
had a my friend from Chicago. He's Nigerian. His name is David. I had a conversation with him, and he actually was telling me how his ancestors, his family, were the rich Africans in Nigeria that sold my ancestors. He told me this verbatim. He said my family. He told me the African name.
You should have punched him.
I don't remember the name, but he was telling me how
had the smoke for him that the
his
black people
family
have for
were
the whites.
rich back when they were, during that transatlantic slave trade. And he was telling, because his family told him this, because they keep track of this stuff in Nigeria. They know who it is because it's an oral tradition. So he was telling me how his family know the real origin of like the transatlantic slave. And he was like, nobody came and stole y'all. My family sold y'all because we were rich and we can afford it, because we enslaved y'all and we sold y'all. And now we're poor. That's why we have to come here, because just think about that. The Africans that sold the other Africans are now poor, so they have to come to America. But y'all still saying that the white man is thriving off slavery from 200 years ago. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. The Nigerians know that y'all are just lazy niggas. That's why they don't like y'all. That's why they don't associate with y'all, because y'all still worried about slavery. Y'all still worried about slavery. They like, forget all that. Y'all are literally sitting in the land of milk and honey. Y'all are born in the land of milk and honey.
Yeah, because every time I go to the doctor, guess what? My doctor is Nigerian. Not even joking. I know they're Nigerian because my cousin is half Nigerian, and one of the doctors I had recently literally had the same name as my cousin. I'm like, yeah, you're definitely Nigerian.
Yep.
Interesting.
I'm like 43% Nigerian.
When I was growing up, like the valedictorian in my class, Nigerians. It was always like the smartest people in my class were the Nigerians.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's interesting. My mom wanted me to be with the Nigerians, be around the Nigerians, because they had a positive culture. I mean, she just knew that. My mom always wants to be friends with Nigerians. She just liked them. And I'm like, well, I like them too. They funny. They're cool. Smart. I mean, I don't know.
They ain't black. And they black, right?
Right.
So
they're black. The only downside is when they're so it's the thing. Remember you telling me about for St. Patrick's Day last year, how you had the Nigerian Uber driver who was kind of based.
Yeah.
And the guy was saying like, oh, the thing about the Nigerians is they push their kids to go to school. They push their kids to go to college. What they don't understand is that these colleges are indoctrinating your kids. So your kid will go just be an academic, being a scholar like I was. I was a very scholarly type, but I knew now looking back, I know retrospectively that if I would have went to college, I would have came back as a Marxist because I would have been paying attention to all these people.
Yep. Flex just said that it's believed that the Nigerians don't like us because we were sold into slavery. I mean, you could argue that, but I think it's much more recent to the fact that, they have TVs over there, they have cable and stuff. Whenever they see black Americans on the media, what we doing? Rapping about killing drugs and shaking ass. When they see us on TV, we selling drugs, killing people and shaking ass. When they hear us talk, we talking about killing, selling drugs and shaking ass. When they see us on the news, we killing, selling drugs and shaking ass. So they don't even need to know the history about not liking black people. They just got to look at the TV or to just listen to y'all talk, listen to you speak. Because what y'all talking about, killing, selling drugs and shaking ass. I just need to understand why Nigerians can't put the same effort into building their own country. But because it's black people there. That's why, because the culture is not for building. Believe it or not, the Africans over there actually are still like racist. If you look at South Africa right now, they ran the white people out of their utopia that they had built. The white people went down there and built their utopia, and they said the white people are our enemy because they was like apartheid. We hate white people. They ran them out to the country. The white folks started farming the country, lived out in the country. Then they ran the white folks out the country, took over their land, and turned it into a ghetto. They're not building it because they don't want to.
Yeah, that's the same question that you could ask us. We're from Chicago. Why couldn't we just stay in Chicago and build up Chicago? Because the niggas in Chicago are doomed.
Don't want to.
That's why.
They don't want to.
Because the niggas there are doomed. So we had to leave. We took our intelligence and left.
Yeah.
Just like the Nigerians the people who actually want to do good from Nigeria, they leave. They like, oh, shit, my potential's being wasted here. Let's go to America and land an opportunity and profit over there.
Me and my immediate family, because that's what it's about. The rest of y'all, you my cousin, third or fourth cousin, auntie, uncles. Only thing that matters is me, my wife, and my kids. That's all that matters. We will go where we can thrive. If y'all want to sit here and live in squalor, that's perfectly fine. More power to you. We gone. Simple as that. And that's what the Nigerians are doing.
Yeah.
And just because the Nigerians understand that the family union is powerful, they also understand that you can only do so much with your environment. You can only do so much with. That is why America is called the land of milk and honey. Because if you have the American ideal, you come over here with the right culture, you can thrive. You can thrive. Even if you came over as a single parent, you can thrive. It's the land of milk and honey. You don't need. I mean, you really should. But that's why we don't want the cultures coming over here that's not, more compatible or Christian. We really don't want no Christians. So I'm gonna just keep it 100. If you're not Christian and Christ ain't king, I don't want you over here. I'm not even finna keep it PC. If Christ is not your king, I don't want you over here. I'm sorry.
That's very xenophobic.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So
wait, what's it say?
All I'm saying is Trump was right about Nigeria and Mexico. That's just, I don't even know what he said. What he called them asshole countries? They are. The countries themselves are assholes, but that doesn't mean there's not good people in there.
Look at the evidence.
When we say that, I mean most of them. Most of the people in Chicago are communists. I mean all of them are.
We work.
51
Chicago conservatives not.
Right.
Lily's not.
Right. Dennis not.
Right.
Right. Like what? Apparently my little cousin waking up too. So just because you say most doesn't mean it's all. 51% is most, but most also means most majority. So we gone.
We gotta leave.
We ain't even gotta. We're not even finna vibe with that, bro.
Who was lynched in his grandma's backyard that will not allow us to stop until we liberate our people.
I think there's a place for all of us.
Oh, look, it's Don. We just made a video about Donnie.
Don Lemon.
Donnie Pooh. Stank.
Yeah, blacks do make fun of Africans. We were just talking about how they make fun of dark-skinned people.
I used to make fun of Africans. I feel bad about it.
What?
I used to
Hey, Chicago,
click my tongue.
You remember the African booty scratcher? You remember people used to call them that? You an African booty scratcher? What is that? That's racist.
I used to say, oh, wah.
Right. Right. Like, come on now, bro. We make fun of Africans.
I used to tell them to translate the beginning of The Lion King.
That's crazy. I never heard that.
I was doing
that's crazy.
I was so horrible.
That's crazy.
I do not feel good about that.
I think there's a place for people who are.
You said he's. I'm as light as.
Hey, y'all, drop in the chat. Is Don Lemon light skin? Because I don't think he would be considered light skin, but he is light. He is on the lighter side. But based on what I understand is light skin, you got to be like your skin. Okay, when you blush or your face turns red, you got to turn red. Like, do you think he turns red? His ears might turn red. Your ears be turning red. Yeah, that's probably why you light skin. My ears don't do none of that. I don't turn red.
Are we not like damn near the same color?
No, your ears turn red. My ears do not turn red. What's that say?
Black Americans and black foreigners are currently at war with each other. Yeah, because they fighting over the title of black.
Yeah.
The foreigners like, we not black. The blacks are like, you are black, but don't claim to be black because we're gonna call you a tether. I don't even get. Y'all got it, bro. Y'all got it, bro.
But guys, is Don Lemon light skin? Yes or no? Drop in the chat. I just want to know.
Don Lemon is light skin. Don Lemon is light brown skin. He's still brown skin.
Exactly.
Called him Mr. AIDS. That's
pro-black.
That's crazy.
I'm crying.
Blackity black. Unapologetically black.
Wait. What is he talking about?
Pro-black. Blackity black. Unapologetically black. Speaking for black people in ways that many are afraid to do because they don't want to lose their jobs, even if they're black.
Said no. See, they saying no. He's not light skinned. He's not light skinned.
Yeah, I mean he not yellow.
He's not light.
He's definitely light brown.
He's definitely not light skinned. He's on the lighter side.
He light brown.
But it's okay if him and his. Well, never mind. Because I'm saying him and his husband have a kid, but that's not possible. Oh yeah, that kid would be light skinned, but that kid's not gonna exist. So never mind.
Right.
He's married to a white man.
Have kids.
But yeah.
That's how he is AIDS. That is insane.
I was bruised, but my ribs
were
not cracked.
Oh, it's Jesse.
Hey, it's Jesse.
It's Jesse. It's Jesse.
Jesse.
Say it right.
Jesse Smollett.
Jesse Smollett.
How many times did he just say black? Too many.
Take a shot every time somebody says black.
I went to the doctor immediately. Frank Gatson drove me. I was not hospitalized.
Is he lying?
Oh yeah. So if you remember, Jesse Smollett was talking about how he got assaulted
in Chicago.
He said,
"Hey, Chicago conservative, how did you feel when that came out?" Because I know I was still on the Democratic side when this happened, so I was like, "Oh my God, Jussie, no,
bro."
I didn't know you were racist in Chicago.
This nigga said Chicago is MAGA country.
I was like,
What?
wow, I can't believe that happened to him.
What? This nigga's lying.
That poor
He
king.
lying. Chicago is MAGA country. Bro, if you wore a MAGA hat in Chicago, they might fight you. What are you talking about? We was wearing a MAGA hat in Chicago. Them niggas was giving us dirty looks.
Bro, some old ladies was like, you should be ashamed of yourself. Are you only wearing a hat because he's wearing it? Talking about him. I'm like, Grandma, why would you say that to me? So you want me to rebel against my man?
How dare she submit to her husband? What are you talking
He's
about?
almost white.
Light skin is Redbone, Aaliyah, High Yellow, Tisha Campbell, Gina from Martin. Okay.
See?
Okay.
Wait. Now I need to pull up a picture of Aaliyah.
I don't know what none of them look like.
Aaliyah, I know
Aaliyah is
Tisha
light-skinned.
from Martin. She is light. That's what I think. Light skin. I think
yellow.
of her.
She definitely yellow.
But Aaliyah, let's see. Aaliyah.
She definitely
I consider light skin if your ears turn red when you blush, like his does. My face don't turn red at all. I can feel it, but I can't see it. Oh yeah, Aaliyah. Yeah, she look like almost mixed.
Yeah, she's like, she kind of like light brown. She almost like Dawn. Yeah, you said Redbone. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, and High Yellow, the yellow hue is Gina from Martin. Yeah, she definitely yellow. Okay, I see what you mean.
So just go by paper bag. That's why the paper bag was pretty accurate.
Yes, look, hey,
I'm definitely darker than the bag.
Bring it back.
Now
bro.
you might have passed for it's winter time when we in Texas, so when the sun starts beaming on him, he gonna get blacker. But right now he looking a little yellow, I will say.
Yeah,
compared to me,
a little ice skin.
You could definitely tell.
You feel me?
We could definitely tell.
Yeah.
I ain't never been that light. Just saying.
Both my doctors.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so Jussie Smollett said that he got attacked and they tied rope around his neck in downtown Chicago. Downtown Chicago is the most liberal city. It is the most liberal spot you can be in the country besides California. You can't get more liberal than downtown Chicago. You cannot get more liberal than downtown Chicago. You damn near walk into a communist camp.
Literally.
The Communist Party.
Remember we went to stay at the hotel? When we went back to Chicago for like his birthday in September last year, we stayed at this hotel that was downtown. Remember about it? It was like by Columbia or something, and they had like all that commie shit in the windows.
Yeah.
Literally like Karl Marx on light posts and shit. It was crazy.
Bro, we went to a damn place to play darts, and they had Karl Marx as one of the characters you can play as the darts character. You can't get more
about that.
in Chicago.
I forgot about that.
My mom is Redbone because her mom is dark-skinned black woman and her dad is high yellow. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But this man, Jussie Smith, said that he got assaulted by some MAGA supporters in Chicago. That is a damn lie. But see, the average Chicago person, the average liberal, wouldn't even sit here and think, Chicago's been blue for 70 years. There's no way in hell that a Republican, let alone a MAGA, is gonna assault a liberal. A nigga that played an Empire, a conservative, is more likely not watching Empire.
I never even watched Empire.
I still don't even watch Empire. So
watched
how
it.
the hell is a conservative in Chicago gonna attack you? And the one chance that you're in Chicago for you being gay and being in Chicago and playing the Empire, I'm not understanding it, bro. I heard a bunch of NYC and Cali liberals move to downtown Chicago over the past. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that.
No. To my age.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He said age junior.
I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Chicago cook. It's these niggas.
A bunch of commies moved there. They replaced us.
Cali is the breeding hub, breeding ground for communists, purebred communists.
No,
and
let me
these
tell you the
niggas are
rules.
leaving.
It's Canada, California, Chicago, New York. And somehow Texas?
Atlanta, Houston. Atlanta, Houston.
They come down here for some fucking reason.
Yeah, it's Canada. Wait, I think Oregon is also super liberal.
Seattle. Wait, no, that's Washington. No, Portland.
Yeah, right. It's all those are all just if people from your town is getting an influx of these people, leave. You're finished.
Get out.
You're finished.
Doctors in LA and Chicago cleared me to perform, but said to take care, obviously. And above all.
Also, he got they didn't they take him to trial for being caught lying and nothing happened to him.
Bro, he literally
Right, he paid them to do it. He paid 2 buff black Africans to do it. Niggas just be lying, boy.
I fought the back.
Bro, what is this? Is he an artist or something? What is he doing on stage? And they're literally from Africa. You heard their accent, them niggas were African. Chicago wasn't communist before Rahm Emanuel. Richard, no.
Daley was a moderate.
I don't know, man. Look,
I don't know. I don't remember. I was a child.
Harold Washington is the reason why Chicago is a sanctuary city. The Harold Washington that everybody loves so much, he's the reason for Chicago being a sanctuary
my mom
city.
told me the only time she ever saw her father cry, my granddaddy cry, was when Harold Washington died, which is crazy to me.
Cal, he's the final boss.
Yeah, definitely.
Literally. Yeah, bro. I mean, I wouldn't say Chicago. Didn't the Communist Party or I think the Communist Party in the United States started in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. There was something that we learned about like the communist movement.
Bro, I just Googled Chicago Communist Party and something came up, Social Workers Party.
Social Workers Party.
1858 West Tarmac Road. What the hell is this?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that the communist movement was like there was some type of party or something. I wish I could remember off the top of my head. It was birthed in Chicago.
It says the Chicago Party. The Communist Party was established in Chicago in 1919 by left-wing Socialist Party members who were inspired by the Bolshevik Revolution.
What? Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. Let's read that again for the people that didn't get that. The Communist Party was established in Chicago in 1919 by left-wing Socialist Party members who were inspired by the Bolshevik Revolution. Chicago was communist way before Rahm, bro. It was communist way before Rahm. Rahm was what you said, Daley was a moderate? Yeah. He probably just barely got that. Barely. I still don't know that Harold Washington did that was what was so great. But the best years were in the 90s. And the best years were in the 90s because of the country. The country itself was better. The country itself, the culture was better. This is before the racism. Race relations were getting better. It was like Jim Crow, where people kind of like the race relations were getting better organically.
We was born during that time.
Yeah, it was organic. It wasn't forced. So, and I was born in the late 90s. I'm 98 baby. So I got to see late 90s, early 2000s. So I remember seeing, growing up and we would be around white people. It wasn't that much like tension. It wasn't so much tension. It was more so like when I remember like our conflicts with white people, it would be because the white people were trying to do the right thing. And my family, being the black folks, were just trying to do whatever they wanted to do. Like my auntie moved over into hometown. If you're from Chicago, hometown is all the way over west. It's right before like Cicero. I think it's on Pulaski or something. And that's where the white people were staying at. The first time my auntie moved around white people, my auntie is like super smart. She very light skinned. She speaks proper and stuff. She was living around white folks. And my mama was saying that them people's being racist towards her because they called the police on my auntie because her German Shepherd, she had a big ass German Shepherd. The German Shepherd would not stop barking. He literally would not stop barking. It was a girl. She literally would not stop barking. And they would call the police on her because they're like, you're disrupting the peace. They're getting noise complaints. Your dog won't shut up. And my mom was saying it's because they racist. It's because she's the only black person on the block. And I remember thinking, but is the dog not barking? The dog is barking. And we heard the dog down the street when we was pulling up. So the dog is making a whole lot of noise. So how is it racist for the white people to complain? And they were like, oh, the white people, they watching you. They be looking in their window trying to check. Yeah, because you're a new person in their neighborhood. They know that the blacks like to come and cause problems. They know y'all like to come and cry racism. So is they wrong for watching their backs? I'm just trying to understand, bro. Because y'all cry racism and I don't see it. And this is when I was a kid and I was thinking, I don't see it. Oh, hold on, you gotta put the headphones on.
Tupac.
It was
I'm
What?
gay Tupac? What?
Nah, bro.
Tupac was already gay, so.
Right. He said the south suburbs were so nice in the 90s, but now all of them people from the projects are all over the place out there. Exactly. That's because of that affordable housing. I was in Chicago in 1998 for a few days, and it was great. I mean, 1989. Yeah, bro. The 90s were smooth. 90s were smooth. That's before the culture was really infected.
Wish we was alive. Well, we was alive, but we was definitely not.
Right. We weren't old enough to really enjoy it. We really just lived that 90s. Yeah, you say the south suburbs were nice in the 90s, but all the people from the projects. The reason why the people from the projects started moving out of the projects and into the suburbs is because one, it's two things. One, because they raised their prices to live inside the city because landlords couldn't afford to let you live in these places for dirt cheap when the properties around them are getting more expensive. So their landlord is paying more in taxes, but you're not paying more in rent. So they got to raise the rent. We actually had to leave one of our apartments because the landlord started raising the rent on us because he wanted to start doing renovations and stuff and turned it from an apartment into a condo. We was living on 67th and Ridgeland, and my mom, we had to move from there. It was a nice apartment. It's a big ass apartment too, but they changed it into a condo and started doing renovations. Also in the suburbs, you get these liberal suburbs when you elected these Democrat mayors, where they trying to do rent control and they trying to control the price of your rent and do affordable housing. So the same people that's getting displaced from the rent rising in their neighborhood, they're moving into your shit because it's cheaper. And now you're bringing all this crime and stuff, and then your suburb turns into Dalton.
We already know what's going on in Dalton.
We already know what's going on in
Tiffany
Dalton.
Fucking on. I mean, never mind. Let me not even say that.
I'm just saying, bro. It's a lot of stuff. Tupac was gay. Yeah, Tupac was a theater student. Tupac was a theater student.
That's all you need to know. He was doing theater.
Yeah,
that means
Tupac was a theater student. Tupac was an actor. He was doing theater in high school. There was an interview with him in theater in high school, and he was like, I don't know what he was saying, but this was his manner was. Yeah, I was like, oh, he gay. He gay. He's a theater kid. He's a theater kid. And Tupac, the name Tupac, is just a persona. It's just a persona, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if he faked his death to get out of that culture, because he's like, this is too real for me. These niggas shooting.
James Baldwin, who said, to be black in America.
James Baldwin is another faggot.
Oh.
So I don't know why he's being brought up.
And to
why
be
do these faggots have so much credibility in the black community? It's almost like you can't be pro-black and not homophobic.
You can't be pro-black and be homophobic, because to be pro-black is to be in a constant state of struggle and rage, just like it is to be gay in America, because you went through the same struggle. You know what it's like to be oppressed for something that you can't change. Y'all feel right. Y'all got gaslighted. Good job.
Relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all the time. My question is, why aren't all people? How can you not be in a rage when you know that you are always at risk of death in the streets? Or in
Coming from a nigga that's worth $12 million.
A risk? No.
Don Lemon.
That was Don Lemon's.
Oh, right. This
Don Lemon is worth $12 million. Let's see how much. What's your guess? What's your guess?
I'm thinking he worth $30 million.
Y'all, what do y'all think? How much do y'all think Colin Kaepernick is worth? Drop your guesses in the comments.
I think he worth $30 million. This nigga worried about getting killed in the streets. Bro, if a police officer pulls you over, he probably knows that you're calling Kaepernick. I'm not trying to hear it, bro. I heard he got beat up by MJ. Yeah, he probably did, because he's gay.
What y'all think Colin Kaepernick's net worth is? Drop it in the comments.
MJ would probably put hands on that boy. Yes, MJ. Bro, our perception. Yes. Our perception of stuff was so crazy, because we thought Tupac was a thug, but he was really a pansy. And we thought MJ was a soft pedophile guy, but he was really a real nigga. MJ was standing on business. Looking back at MJ was standing on business, boy. If he put hands on Tupac, I'll believe it.
I'm waiting for the guesses in the comments.
I don't
Anybody
know.
gonna guess?
What do you think? What do you think?
How much do y'all think Colin Kaepernick is worth? I just looked it up. Y'all will be shocked at how much money this dude is worth.
It better not be no 100 mil.
It's not 100. I will say it's not 100. It's not that much, but it's higher than Don, which was 12 million.
50, 60.
No, not that much higher.
It might take a minute for the chat to come in.
Yeah.
Tell her she can't say. Oh. You can't say the F word. They'll ban the YouTube. Oops.
Fruitcake.
Fruitcake. Say fruitcake.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, what's the net worth?
This nigga's worth $20 million.
Can
I say nigga?
Yeah.
Can
I? Right. Can you say nigga?
I can't say that, but I can say never.
17 mil. Lexi was quick. He was close. 17 mil. Yeah. I mean, he's worth 17 mil. He's worth 20 mil. He's worth 20 mil, but he's worried about getting killed on the streets as if niggas don't know who Colin Kaepernick is. If they didn't know who you were from football, they damn should know who you were from Nike. I'm not trying to hear it, bro.
Enslavement in the prison system.
You know, I always tell the truth. And I know people are going to say, oh, Don Lemon's going on a rant. Don Lemon's doing this. Don Lemon's doing
No. If you're on the side of things that a man can become a woman and you're willing to lie and say a man can become a woman, you do not always tell the truth. Stank.
Yeah, you're effectively a liar.
Hello? Like, you're a liar.
I'm going to tell you the truth this morning. The Republicans have an ecosystem. They have a cult following. All they do all day long is they wake up and they turn on, Fox and Friends. And they leave the TV on. They listen to conservative radio all day, Sean Hannity and whoever else is on.
That's hilarious, bro. That's actually hilarious considering what Mr. O does. No shade to Mr. O, but we from what we've observed, he watches the news all day. He watches Joy Reid. He puts on MSNBC and leaves it on all day. Watches it while he's on the commute to work. Probably watches it at work and watches it after work with his kids around.
Bro, Mr. O watches Joy Reid and Roland Martin simultaneously. He watched, bro, when we visited Chicago, this man, when we walked in the house, he had Joy Reid on the big screen in the front room. And then when we walked into the kitchen where he was sitting on his phone, he was watching Roland Martin at the same time.
Can't make this shit.
At the same time. But we watch, we're in the Colts. Oh my goodness. Again.
When I have kids, I don't think I'll be playing the news in front of them. When I have kids, all they're going to be doing is learning. You're going to learn how to multiply. You're going to learn how to add and subtract. I don't give a you're not going to be worried about politics. You're going to know basic facts, and that's that. I'm not going to be indoctrinating my kids with politics. I want them to be smart. I want you to know how to critically think. I'm not going to be playing Joy Reid in front of them. That doesn't make any sense.
Nah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. And the kids they just soaking it up. I was talking to my little brother yesterday. My little brother is like 11. We was making a character. We was playing a VR. And he was talking about how he want to make his character black because I'm black. I gotta make sure they got black people in here and this black. I'm just like, oh, jeez, AJ.
I don't want to hear
I'm like, oh, AJ, my sweet little brother, my innocent little brother, you're getting indoctrinated. Last time I saw him, we went to his we went to his school during Black History Month. They were doing some damn.
They had that child kneeling down, all that shit.
It was so bad. I am Black History. Oh, I'm like, bro, they do it. So you telling me they do this same thing at every school? Every year in February.
Yeah, you know what I also remember?
I
remember that when we were leaving that presentation, they had we were walking through the hallways of the school and they had
the
pictures
boards
of Obama
up
and stuff. You try to tell your mom about how Obama had a fake birth certificate, she just didn't care.
Oh,
that's what I remember.
See these people. That's why
and that's why they kids get indoctrinated.
There will be no excuse on Judgment Day because people try to tell you God revealed to you, you just didn't want to hear it. So guess what? He hardened your heart. There is no excuse. When you get mad at the truth, it's because your heart is hardened.
On conservative radio, and then they start watching the 5 or whatever, and then they go all through and listen to Jesse Walters. Then they go all through that, and they get enraged, and then they hear all these stories about people like me and people like whatever. Pick your outspoken, truth-telling black person. Then they do, race baiters, the black folks, all of us are DEI when we all had to work twice as hard, if not more, to get to where we are.
LOL.
That's funny because then Joy Reid said that she got into Harvard because she was a black woman.
She literally said she got.
She said verbatim. She said she.
Clip up actually because she literally said that.
Joy Reid said she got into Harvard through affirmative action. So you're trying to say that you had to work 10 times harder, nigga? You got it. Joy Reid got into Harvard. Joy Reid is at the same level, if not higher or lower. I don't know. She's around the same level as Don Lemon with her own show. You niggas did not work hard for this. You niggas just simply got it because you're black.
What do y'all define as working 10 times harder?
I'm trying to understand what you talking about, bro. What you talking about?
Than they did.
Before we get into it, I just want to say, I brought my parents out tonight.
What
is he black?
What is up with being Jesse or Jussie and being a fucking... Never mind. I can't even say what I want to say because I'm not trying to get us blocked, but
PBS is a good educational program.
I hope you're trolling because I used to love watching PBS. And
yeah.
It was a PBS documentary I used to love about like black... I can't remember what it was called, but it was featuring Henry Louise Gates. I don't know if you're familiar with this guy, but... Hold on, let me look up the exact title. I used to literally love this documentary so much that my grandma bought me like this big ass history book full of like black history. My mom was just so impressed that I loved this documentary so much. Hold on. PBS, what was the name of that?
We have pro-black we have Black Pride / pro-black movement in the 1980s. It just left, but you said that the communist regime messed it up.
It was called Finding Your Roots, the African Americans, Many Rivers to Cross. I used to watch this stuff religiously. I thought it was so, like, brilliant. I was like, oh my God, he's just explaining blackness. It came out in 2013. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because I was around that age. By Henry Louise Gates. 6-hour series. Guides viewers on a journey across 2 continents to explore the transition of African Americans. I'm sure I've actually rewatched this because I'm sure this is full of communism, and I was just eating it up. And my grandma literally bought me the book based off of this. Wow. And yeah, I don't even know how we got on this topic, but oh yeah, she said PBS. Yeah, and it was playing on PBS. That was the first time I watched it on PBS. So I used to stay watching PBS.
That's wild.
It's educational.
I just want to thank them. They made sure I learned what the schools were afraid to teach us, and also to thank my amazing wife for changing my life. Now.
That's why they say black and brown.
Oh, that's the guy from Grey's Anatomy.
That's why they say black and brown. They just expanded it. It's anybody that's not white, black. It's anybody that's not a straight white Christian male, because the straight white Christian male is the one that was proper, or they were doing slavery, they were doing Jim Crow. It's the white Christian male, the white straight Christian male. When these trannies, bro, we seen trannies come on to Kendra G's show and say that
Kendra G has a dating show. Singles come on her show and offer themselves up, but the trannies be coming on the show talking about if you're a gay man, or if you're a man and you fuck me, you're not gay. You're actually inclusive. They literally be saying that. And these niggas who fall for that.
These transgender women literally come on the Kendra G show and say that they want a straight Christian man. Why the hell do you want a straight? First off, let's break it down. Why do you want a straight man to affirm your identity as a woman? You want him to think that you're a woman to make you feel better. I actually am a woman.
They want a straight man because it helps them defy the logic. But the bottom line is, if you're a man and you a tranny, you're not straight.
Yeah.
Period. So it's literally, they want something that they literally can't achieve. Just like they want to become a woman. Something you can't get.
Right.
It's simple math. You can't get it. It's
also
not possible.
Now, why do you want a Christian man? I want a straight God-fearing man. A God-fearing man is not gonna mess with you once he finds out that you're a man.
Because they want a man that's so-called God-fearing, so when they want to clap back at people like me, they can say stuff like, oh, well, I this Christian guy, so I just say Christians aren't for that stuff. I mess with a Christian guy, so that means that Christians can be trans inclusive.
Yeah.
They literally want to be able to use you. If you're a so-called Christian and you decide you want to F a tranny, they're going to use you as their talking point for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. You gave them bulletproof armor.
But me, I'm going to be like, well, that's not a true Christian, is it? That's a fuck it. Sorry to break it to you.
Why do trans people want a straight Christian man? Why
do messages get restricted? I can see that.
No, I think they retracted it back.
I thought it said restricted.
That's crazy how Christianity is equivalent to bad, and it's well because their dad is Satan. Satan is their daddy.
What's it say?
It says crazy how Christianity is equivalent to bad in their eyes. It's because Satan is their daddy. Their father is the father of lies.
Clearly.
So for children of God, we are literally seen as the enemy. They see us as the enemy. It's just simple as that. It's not our fault. We didn't do nothing. They just don't want to get right with God. We didn't do nothing wrong. They think that the world is sufficient. They don't believe in a kingdom and judgment. They don't believe in this type of stuff. They just think that everybody should just, hey man, Jesus had like one commandment, man, and it's just to be vaguely nice to everybody by today's social standards, and you're doing the heckin' good Christianity. That's what they believe, bro. That we got these non-Christians telling Christians how to be Christians. That's funny.
Award is for the real organizers all over the country, the activists, the civil rights attorneys, the struggling parents, the families, the teachers, the students that are realizing that a system built to divide and impoverish and destroy us cannot stand if we do.
I'm sorry, I be pausing so much. It just be blowing me so bad. This nigga is literally receiving, what is this, a some type of award, some type of BET prestigious award. This nigga still talking about the system. You won. I don't think straight men will mess with a transgender anyway. If they get tricked,
no,
they get tricked.
Wouldn't.
They get tricked.
And even if you got tricked, I think you should be able to tell. There's. I remember one time I was like 17 and I was in an Uber. Basically back in Chicago, I was in an Uber and the Uber driver, for some reason, was going on a rant about transgenders. And he was like, "Yeah, a man could literally smell a real woman. They could tell. They could tell. We could just tell. We know what a woman is. We can literally smell a woman." I was like, "Oh damn, okay, that's interesting. You can smell a woman. So what's no excuse? I don't give a damn how strict you are. Do you smell pussy or not?"
Whoa, hold on. Freeman cooking. He said they want that Christians because they can use the line, "Your book says to forgive," and it's a kink to make someone go against their beliefs. So once you crack a transgender, you're already at fault. You're already like, there's this internal conflict. So then they could just say that your book says to forgive. So you can forgive me for tricking you, but you also liked it. So forgive yourself.
Yeah, and that's why men need to just stay away from having sex with people that they don't know. You need to be pulling up
baby pictures.
Child photos. If you're not at the point where you're comfortable enough to do that, well, y'all should not be sleeping together, period.
Pretty much.
That's on you, King. That's on you. You made that fatal mistake.
What would the ancestors do? What would the people who made sacrifices do in these moments? The people who had dogs trained on them, the people who had hoses trained on them, the people who were lynched, the people who went to jail.
Don, you're not supposed to make it seem like you're reading, bro.
Right, what is he talking about?
Tell a nigga your whole cast is white.
Tens of times, like Dr. King. The people who got in good trouble. The people who weren't.
You could damn near see the words from his phone.
His glasses have such a strong prescription. Look how big his eyeballs look. He is blind as hell.
They attack Christianity because they tie it to patriarchy. Yeah, I mean, patriarchy just means ruled by men or man in charge. And who's the ultimate male figure in charge? God.
God is a woman.
You trolling. I know you trolling. Yeah, but the ultimate male figure in charge is God. So when they say, "Oh, we need to uproot and get rid of this patriarchy," they're talking about God, because God put man in charge. Nobody else put man in charge. Why do you think men are in charge? It's just so happened to work out like that because God put man in charge. God put man in charge of women and children.
She sent me the video. People who created Christianity, they said that it's created by men because they want women to feel bad about themselves.
Feel bad about what?
Feel bad about being inferior.
Okay, and?
Christianity says women are inferior because it wants women to be just subservient and just nothing.
Christianity didn't say that women are inferior. Satan proved it when he went to Eve instead of Adam, and Eve folded.
That's all Christianity. So
I'm sorry.
That's all Christianity.
I'm sorry. Look, if you got an issue with that, If you have a problem with the book, if you have a problem with the Bible saying that women are inferior, it's because you're inferior.
Period. Period.
Everybody has their roles. God didn't create people equal. Simple as that. God did not say we're going to make everybody equal. God never said that. There's no such thing as equality. That's why this communist movement is just so crazy, because there's no such thing as equality.
You can either have freedom or equality.
Ooh.
I heard that yesterday. I can't remember where though.
Ooh, you just cooked. You can either have freedom
I think
or
I heard that on
equality.
Cutting to the Culture. I think I heard it on this show actually.
Oh man.
Not this episode, but the episode from yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just cook. You can either have freedom or equality. Those two things are not the same. You can either have freedom or equality. God didn't make people equal.
It made me think about when I moved out my parents' house, right? Something my mom would have said. You can either have freedom or equality. People want to move out their parents' house for freedom. Okay, you're going to have freedom, but you're not going to be equal to the people who make more money than you.
Yeah.
If you want to have equality, you're not going to do it in your mom's house. You're not going to be equal to your mom.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. You're not. Undoubtedly, you're not.
Yeah.
So you're either going to have one or the other. You
And
can't have both.
who's to say what equal is? How would you or anybody know, okay, this is equal? This is you two are perfectly equal. That's not even a thing. You remember in the anime, in the fighting TV shows and stuff, they try to show that somebody's equal when they start clashing punches. Oh, they're equal in strength. That's not real. That's not realistic. It's not realistic. Biology proved it. Yes, it did. Biology proves it. You can't. A woman ain't gonna beat you in no arm wrestle. A woman can't lift more than you.
I can.
Trying to go right now.
Well, we're not standing.
My arm down there bigger than your leg.
Concerned about their proximity to whiteness. And what are you doing? This is not. I'm not just going to call out the folks who are doing.
Dr. King be rolling his grave right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Dr. King.
Yeah.
Hey,
Dr. King will be
doing
an Irish jig right now.
You know what? You know, Dr. King actually, he wanted what was best for black people. He actually did. He just went the wrong way about doing it. He thought that the communists would actually offer black people equality. But the issue is, like we said earlier, there is no such thing as equality. So it was a false premise from the beginning.
Yeah, it's a lot of people who have positive. What's the quote? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Like, I would think MLK actually did have good intentions for the black community.
Yeah, he did have good intentions.
They were rooted in some demonic shit.
Yeah.
So it wasn't ever going to be positive.
He thought he could get equality, quote unquote, equality for his community without the help of Christ.
That's the problem.
He thought he could do that. And again, if you would have had the help of Christ, Christ would have told you, yo, player, there's no such thing as equality. What are you talking about equality? You need to focus on you and your house. All isms lead to slavery. Yeah, slaveryism. Yeah, that's going to be the last ism. It's going to be
what about
slaveryism.
capitalism? That's what Mom would say.
Even calling
Capitalism
it capitalism is Marxist in itself, because it's just a free market. That's what it is. Capitalism is just a free market.
With capitalism, there's always going to be a poor class, so therefore it's not equal.
Right. No such thing as equal. Moving on.
Doing it because you have power too, and you just sit by many times and you don't do anything about it, and you don't support the people who support you. You have to support us, and you have to make us number one. You have to download our stuff. You have to listen to us on Spotify or iHeart or Apple or any of those platforms.
Yeah, you have to give us more money. You have to stream our stuff so we can get paid, so we can give the money back to ourselves and then continue to feed you propaganda to keep you enslaved but make us richer.
You have to download, tell all your friends to download our material. You have to watch us on YouTube. You have to subscribe to our Substacks. You have to go on our social media.
The more we learn about who we are and how we got here, the more we will mobilize. Now, this is also in particular for the black women in particular who have spent their lifetimes dedicated.
I'm trying to understand. Is he supposed to be black?
Spent their lifetime dedicated to what? To create a single home?
Destroying the black community.
Their kids? To shaking ass?
Destroying the black community. That's what they dedicated their lives to. They dedicated their lives to single-handedly to destroying the black community. He said, I don't think Jim Crow was bad. Hey man, you don't want us to get into that on
Jim
here.
Crow was not bad.
Jim Crow, the bad thing about Jim Crow was that it was government mandated segregation. That is what made it bad. When you have the government do it, that's what makes it bad.
Right.
The government is clumsy.
Right, but if Jim Crow would have naturally occurred, it would have been a positive thing.
Right, because the blacks are advocating for Jim Crow right now. They're saying that we need to bring back segregation. The blacks are saying this because they feel like they can't do it on themselves. The black community was thriving under Jim Crow.
We need black this, we need black that, we need black owned businesses. Okay.
The race relations were organically getting better under Jim Crow. They were organic. If the race relations weren't getting better under Jim Crow, how could Martin Luther King go in the South and march? If they really was that hostile towards blacks, how could these groups come about and organize and march and do all this protesting and stuff? And and that's the thing. That's how you know it was getting better, because the whites should have been looking at these niggas like these people are communists. They should have been like, no, get these niggas out of here. These niggas are trying to destroy what we got going on. But they were actually more empathetic towards the blacks, which is why the Republicans campaigned in the South, because they realized that the Southern whites have more conservative values than their disdain for black people. It was more, they were more in line with the conservative capitalist values of the country rather than their dislike for black people. They were like, well, I mean, as long as me and my family straight, we don't really care about the blacks. You know, they gonna do what they want to do. They teach you in school that these white people just woke up and was like, I'm gonna kill a nigga today. Like, that's not what was happening, bro. That's not what was happening. These people was living their lives. Blacks was living their lives, and you did have some issues between some people, but they were individuals. It wasn't a race thing. It was and anybody that made it a race thing is because they're an idiot. Yep. Black or white, it was because they are idiots. And this is how the country was in the beginning. This is how the South was in the beginning. But like I said, the Southern strategy, they came and appealed to the Southern whites' conservative values. And they were like, man, these people actually are down their grind and they know what it means to be American. We need to appeal to that rather than their disdain for black people. And that's how you have the South majority red. That's just what it was. I'm not making this up. Look it up. But then when Negroes bring up the Southern strategy, they're like, oh, they made the Democrats became Republicans. That's why they're racist. No, they became Republicans because they realized that racism wasn't that important. That's what happened. But you can't, that's just too nuanced for the average liberal to understand.
Way too nuanced.
To nurturing everyone before.
And if the South was so racist, why were they electing black representatives?
Themselves, we can and will do better for you. Now. So what's going to happen is we are going to have equal rights and justice in our own country, or we will restructure their function and ours.
Sound like a threat. Sound like a commie threat to me. That sounds like a commie threat. You heard me just say, right?
No, I didn't.
We're going to restructure. If you're saying you're going to restructure some shit, that's a commie threat. I consider that treason. You need to leave.
Yeah, you need to leave. That sounds like when them folks was saying that the Democrats talking about, we need to take the money from the police and reimagine something,
right,
something like, whoa, what are you talking about? Reimagine? Nah, bro.
The thing is, though,
look, if you talking about black on black crime, I gotta tell you that you probably lost your mind. We got an issue with you not trying to solve it. Talking about symptoms ain't gonna kill the problem.
Why are these hoes keep singing?
The Irish were considered black in the late 1800s and well into the 1950s. That is interesting. I didn't know that. We could look into it. But I do know that the blacks were the Irish were also seen as like a similar type of people as the blacks. It was because of the culture. You know, when you think about the Irish, you think about the fighting Irish, the drunks. It's the culture. That's just what it was. It wasn't skin color. It was more so culture. It was culture. That's just what it was. They didn't like you because of your culture, but you look just like them. You may have different color hair, but it's culture. That's what it is. And what this video is talking about, it's stupid because the blacks love to deflect the fact, of the black on black crime being out of crazy. It said the Irish were not considered white. The Irish were not considered white. That's not true. I don't know if they were considered white. I don't know too much. I know that they were Irish, and I know that they were also slaves to quote unquote the white man. It's culture. It's culture.
We got a problem and you ain't trying to hear it. You didn't listen when Kaepernick was kneeling. All lives matter, wanna steal the attention. Trying to shift the focus, that's your intention. You arrest one cop and think we good now. You think because we got Juneteenth we good now. Y'all got work to do, and we won't let it slide. Cause to be real, some of y'all still in denial. You don't believe racism is real. You'd rather fight against us than admit.
You know, and I realized this when I woke up. When I woke up to the demonic propaganda of what was going on in this country, I realized that these white conservatives were fighting to. They were fighting to save this country. They were fighting to save this country, and black people were fighting them. And once I realized that, it was so crazy because it's like, damn, we've been in the wrong this whole time. We have been in the wrong this whole time. These white folks have been fighting to preserve the sovereignty of this country and not be whored out to these other countries and to these other cultures, and want to preserve their white race, which is nothing wrong with that, and preserve their culture of Christianity, which is nothing wrong with that. Why are we fighting them? Aren't we supposed to all be Christians? It's crazy.
We built this country, where's our compensation? You gon' be mad, but we want reparations.
The other night, Keith Boykin and I were on CNN trying to be respectful to the congresswoman who insisted upon mispronouncing Kamala Harris. Do you call Melania? Do you call Ivanka? Then call Kamala. Then call Vice President Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris. And soon, we pray and hope and work that you will call her President Kamala Harris. So this is a note to put on notice anybody who would come for us, who would try to stain the reputation or besmirch the character of black women, not only the Kamala Harrises of the world, but the Shaniquas and the Jackies and the Renees and whoever else a black woman happens to be, and whatever else her name happens to be. We will stand tall for them.
All of us.
You know, I noticed that a lot of niggas like to try to use the fact that their names get mispronounced as like
racism,
some type of leverage. Yeah. Oh, they mispronounced my name, therefore they're racist. Like, maybe you just had a foreign name.
Maybe
you ever thought about that before? When I went to get my
can't.
eyebrows done, the Indian lady, she said my name right, and I was actually shocked. I'm like, why you said my name right? She was like, yeah, that's a common name where I'm from. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So the people over here, I've had numerous black people mispronounce my name. I never caught an attitude or threw a fit, because it is what it is. I mean, I got a foreign name. My mom named me some African shit. Fine. I'm not gonna get mad. Apparently some Indian shit. I'm not gonna get mad that people mispronounce my name, but for this guy to sit here and act like you wouldn't mispronounce Melania's name or Ivanka's name, maybe because they're more relevant than Kamala is. You ever thought about that one?
There's so many variables.
You ever thought about that? You ever thought about the fact that they're more famous than Kamala? Nobody cares about Kamala Harris.
Nobody.
That's not ringing
except for
any
black
bells.
women, of course.
Us in here getting money, that alone isn't going to stop.
I'm sorry. Some of y'all comments be popping up on the screen. I see them for a little bit, but I can't really read them because they go away too fast, and then they don't pop up in the chat. So I apologize if I don't get to your comment. Y'all be having. You were talking. I didn't want to cut you off, but y'all be having some interesting comments. I do want to. They're gone. I can't. Yeah, some of the comments pop up, but they're not in the chat.
See if it changes. We put like all.
Let me see. Oh yeah, okay, bet. You did that. Okay, so Blexus said Lee H. Walker has a book called Black Conservatism, which explains how and why blacks who are socially conservative still vote Democrat, which is in part due to the Lily White movement within. I heard about the Lily White movement, and I think it was like some type of exclusionary white party or something. Like it was something. I don't even want to mess it up. I remember it vaguely. I don't really remember it too much, but I remember hearing about it and learning a little bit about it, but I don't really remember it. The Republican Party after emancipation. Yeah, the Republican Party started as the abolition party of slavery, and they still doing the same thing today. I mean, although there is a lot of rhinos, but they still trying to wake people up from slavery.
How much longer is this month?
Stop this.
It is long, right?
All right. Now, dedicating our lives to getting money just to give it right back for someone's brand on our body, when we spent centuries praying with brands on our bodies, and now we pray to get paid for brands on our bodies. We've been floating this country on credit for centuries, yo, and we're done watching and waiting while this invention called whiteness uses and abuses us, burying black people out of sight and out of mind while extracting our culture, our dollars, our entertainment like oil, black gold, ghettoizing and demeaning our creations, then stealing them, gentrifying our genius, and then trying us on like costumes before discarding our bodies like rinds of strange fruit.
Strange fruit.
The thing is that just because we're magic doesn't mean we're not real.
Did he just say that in magic?
Thank you.
Did he just say black people
Let
are
me ask
magic?
this question of
Yes.
brother.
This nigga just said black people are magical. And that's why we get movies like the Magical
Secret Society of Magical
because these niggas actually
Negroes
believe
or
they're
something.
magical for being black. Remember they said black people are gonna get superpowers December 21st, 2020.
You niggas really thought that.
One of them years.
Yeah, I remember thinking.
Yes.
I think I was still kind of
believe
pro black. Yeah, I did believe. I was like,
I was still pro
I
black.
was
and I
like,
knew that was bullshit.
I
I'm
was
like,
like,
we ain't no damn power.
the Lily White movement was considered a bunch of Dixiecrats within the Republican Party. Right, Barry Goldwater and Lee Atwater, who gradually pushed blacks out of the Republic. Yeah, okay, right. It was the Dixiecrats within the Republican Party because the Dixiecrats were the Democrats within the 1800s, 1700s or whatever. Before it was the Democrats, it was the Dixiecrats. And yeah, that sounds about right. So wasn't it the same? Dixiecrats dominate the Democrat Party, but also exists within the Republican Party. Yeah,
So neocons.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Interesting.
Brother Thomas, why are you such a hater?
Hater.
Hate on civil rights, hate on women's rights, hate on reproductive rights, hate on voting
on
rights,
killing babies.
hate on marital rights, hate
on
on
killing
equal
babies.
protection under the law, hate on liberty and justice for all, hate on free and fair elections. Why are you such a hater?
Look at him smiling.
And you think you can get away with it, escape public scrutiny? Because you think that shamelessness is your superpower?
Mr. Chairman, a point of order.
Here's a news flash straight from the House Judiciary Committee.
of order.
Truth
Time,
thrust
Mr.
to the
Gentleman.
ground will rise again, and truth will be
rapping.
your kryptonite.
When someone like J.D. Vance says that professors
rhinos are
are
kitchen.
the enemy,
Yeah.
that
Oh my God,
means
look at
that
Lady on the
those of
right.
us
She looks scary as hell. What the hell is wrong with her? Independent journalist, scholar, activist, producer. Yeah, you're an activist, all right.
Scholar activist.
who have the knowledge need to speak louder. So,
Bro, hold on. Look at this lady's
That's Amanda
background.
Seals.
Holy crap.
Palestine.
It looks claustrophobic in here.
She's a single woman with no kids.
Oh,
Dusty 40-year-old.
you have the stage to do so.
I appreciate you, sis. So yeah, like I was saying,
Sis.
fam, look, I graduated from Cornell University, and now 12 years later, I can't get a job. So I decided to go back
Wow,
to
you
school.
know, I know a few people that went to Cornell.
Well,
Like it's too hot for y'all. Cornell would be like a high ranking Ivy League
prestigious
school
school.
in New York.
Yeah, it's almost like
It
it's
depends
not
on what
worth
you
nothing.
major in.
You probably majored in social justice
to get my PhD
or underwater basket weaving.
at UMass Amherst in the W.E.B. Du Bois department. A lot of my
Du Bois.
academic work, but my whole being is about me as a person of African descent, Afro-Boricua, Black Latinx, and all of that stuff. I particularly, for 20 years, have always identified myself as a Black Puerto Rican.
Bro, these people, these other races know the grift. They know the grift. They know that it's fashionable to be black and oppressed. They know, bro. You think these people don't understand the grift? She's this lady clearly knows that as long as I identify as black or some form of black, I can just matriculate through the ranks and go to an Ivy League school like Cornell And then, but she didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel being that you still don't have a job.
And have passed that down to my daughter. Definitely for decades, I've been out organizing and movement building, especially all the years I lived in New York City. It was a great time. We were fighting against the Rockefeller drug laws. We were trying to get police out of schools.
You were fighting against the Rockefeller drug laws. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like you were fighting against drug laws.
Trying to make sure that our institutions survived and all that. And now I'm at a point in my life where I am going back into the classroom and I want to teach and I want to mentor young people.
And this right here is exactly why the institutions and the schools are destroyed, because these people get these useless ass degrees. They can't do nothing but teach. They can't do nothing but teach. And if you look at the most prominent communists like Karl Marx, these people don't have real jobs. They're just intellectuals and professors, and all they can do, the only value they have to society is teaching other people these bad ideas. We went on a college tour. We went to Wisconsin. We were talking with some communists. These kids were communists and they were in college. I asked this kid, what do you want to do? Because he was like, oh, we need to uproot the system. We need to make it like the Bolshevik revolution in Russia and war up the Bam. And he just kept referencing Soviet Russia. And I asked him, what do you want to do with your degree, with your job? What's your job? I want to be a professor. And I asked him, don't you think it's weird that all the most prominent communists and the most prominent Marxists, they don't never actually have anything of material or of value to add to the society? All they want to do is be professors and teach other people these ideas. They're not business owners. They're not farmers. They're not entrepreneurs. They don't even work jobs. These people live off the system and then tell other people how to run their businesses. And surprise, surprise, this lady that got this useless degree, we don't even know what it is, but you went to Cornell, you're supposed to have your job. I'm just going to assume that you have a useless degree. There's no reason that you shouldn't have a job right now. But now, because you don't have a job, you could always be a teacher and teach this Marxist ideology to the next generation.
I don't think my generation, the hip hop generation, has done good enough around mentoring young people and like creating a cadre of young people.
We see this kind of initially a slow pace of the pulling back of rights that Black Americans and therefore all Americans have earned. And then we see this moment where all three branches of government align. And then you can see a massive withdrawal of those rights. And so we have to be very careful. We can decide in this moment as Americans, are we going to enter another nadir, or are we going to push back against that and continue to pursue an egalitarian society? But this is an inflection point. And I fear, because we don't understand that history, we don't know that you can gain rights in the United States and you can lose those rights almost completely.
Amazing.
Then leave. Get the hell out.
Oh, that was a doozy.
If you think that you're oppressed over here, you just leave.
That was a doozy. Sheesh.
And that's all, period.
That was a doozy, man. These light-skinned activists just...
Yeah, these light-skinned be definitely doing too much. They definitely got to prove themselves 10 times. They say you got to work 10 times harder to move up in America. No, you need to work 10 times harder. If you're light-skinned, you don't look black enough in America. Hey, Lily.
What's going on, Lily?
You missed it, sister. We just went through the whole montage. Make sure you catch that rewatch, because we just went through the light skin.
It was decent.
The montage is showing that these light skinned people be doing way too much to prove that they're black.
Yeah.
They gotta be you gotta be the biggest activist if you're light skinned.
If black people have to work 10 times hard, light skins gotta work 15 times as hard. They gotta go super hard. They gotta go super hard to appeal to the blacks, because they gonna call you all type of names if you light skinned.
Right. Yep.
You can't even be light skinned. You can't even be comfortable in your skin around black people. That's crazy. If you too black, they make fun of you. If you too light skinned, they make fun of you. It's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in.
It's an evil world we live in.
Man. Yeah, so that's the montage. You got any closing remarks? We've been on here almost 2 hours now.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, man. Y'all appreciate the people that's been tuning in. Black Conservative, Real's in here. Sharon.
Chicago Conservative, not Black Conservative.
I'm sorry, Chicago Conservative. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to mess your name up. Blexit. I already said Sharon. Freeman. Y'all. Shout out to everybody that's been active in the chat. That's what we got y'all popping up on the screen, because we appreciate y'all. Shout out to the folks on Twitter. Yeah, Yeah, man.
Yeah, we were hanging up.